So an update on the news regarding Diego Costa and his future at Chelsea. I brought you a video out yesterday. It's got about 4,000 views, so thanks for all the support on it. Saying that Diego Costa wanted to leave Chelsea and Costa and Conte had got into some sort of altercation, some sort of fight, not physical fight of course, but some verbal fight on the training grounds. But new developments tonight coming from the players of Chelsea's mouths themselves, as well as other sources. A lot of those sources who were saying last night that Costa's going to leave, he wants to leave, and now retracting their comments and saying maybe it wasn't what we made it out to be, which is unbelievable. Typical media trying to damage the football club. We know they do that. That's what they do. They enjoy doing that. But yeah, Alonso said to the BBC regarding the Costa incident, something along the lines of, I won't quote exactly, but he did say something along the lines of, you made up the story. Diego Costa is very happy at the club, and yeah, he will have a very good season. So that was from Alonso. Cahill said that Costa's been injured for the week and had to sit out, same as what Conte said. Now, in my opinion, what happened here was there was some sort of altercation, probably with the fitness coach and Costa. I mean, it could have been about as simple as the fact that he said he weren't fit to play at the weekend, and Costa got in a strop about it. Had a go at the fitness coach. Conte, you know, disciplined him, etc. But who knows what happened, to be honest with you. He's been blown out of proportion. Now, there's obviously interest from China, but Costa, today, reports coming out that he does not want to move to China. He's happy at Chelsea for the time being, and that he does not want to leave for China. There's reports that Terry convinced him with the phone call last night. I mean, who knows, excuse me, what to believe and what not to believe in his situation. But what is for sure is Abramovich was never going to sell Diego Costa this January transfer window. Chelsea weren't going to get rid of him, as simple as that. And what's not sure is whether Costa was... it was clear he's perhaps been put off by this, and you can understand it. It's a ridiculous amount of money that's been offered. Any normal, sane person would have been put off by it. But it's not clear as of yet whether Costa ever really wanted to leave for China. And that's just speculation the media has thrown out. Now, as for the Conte and Costa fight, I mean, you know, the fact that apparently Conte shouted across the training ground, go to China. I mean, it's just too hilarious to be true. It's just made up crap from the fake media and from fake news. Donald Trump will probably be looking at Chelsea saying, look, this is what I've felt from my election campaign. But yeah, no, I'm bringing it. I'm saying right now, and I'm putting my head out on a stake, if Costa leaves this January, I'm completely wrong, but I wanted to do this video to assure Chelsea fans across the globe that Diego Costa will not leave Chelsea. He will not be moving this January. He will stay at the football club, and depending on the back injury, he is likely to feature in the Hull City game next week. So the question now remains is what exactly happened, and why the hell the media decided to make this into something it wasn't, and how the club reacts to that, because this is quite a big thing, of course, that's come out. It shocked us, it shocked the world, etc. And it'd be interesting to see how the club reacts with the media, who maybe over-exaggerated this point and these points, and how we react perhaps in press conferences. Look, there's no doubt something went on between Conte, Costa, etc. The links to China, I mean, it could be a coincidence. There probably was something to do with that. As I say, the money that was being offered, you'd be a crazy person not to be tempted by that sort of money being offered 10 times what you would have been at the previous club, or at the club that you're currently at. I mean, it's as simple as that. Yes, the quality of football's not as good, etc., and there's always that point. But even still, the money on its own is tempting. You know, you don't have millions of Lampards and Terrys about. You know, they don't come around all the time. But yeah, no, I'm gonna, you know, as I say, everything that I've been seeing today suggests to me that Costa will be saying that the football club, Abramovich doesn't want to sell him. That's the same as what we heard last night. Costa doesn't want to leave. The players downplaying this. Conte, to a certain degree, downplaying the situation. Costa's post on Instagram last night and on Facebook, I mean, whether he controls those accounts, who knows. But wanted to bring you this news, wanted to bring you the update that Diego Costa will be staying at the football club at least until the summer. And yeah, hopefully this... look, maybe this is Mendes's big plot to make out that there's interest in China to make sure that Chelsea give him a little bit more money and he can renew his contract. That would be the great thing to come out of this if Diego Costa in a week's time renews his contract at Chelsea and we offer a fantastically good contract. I mean, we can't compete with the prices of China, but somebody mentioned in the comment section, China won't be able to facilitate, they won't be able to continue to pay players the amount of money they are year on year after year after year. It's just not feasible. It's not something that is possible to be able to maintain. It's ultimately not going to work, and that you have to agree with. So yeah, Costa looks like he's staying at Chelsea. So yesterday at this sort of time it looked bleak, it looked bad, but I hate to tell you, well, I'm thrilled to tell you, sorry, that is not true. So a great day. We beat Leicester City 3-0, and it looks like our main man, number 19, Diego Costa, ain't going anywhere. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't enjoyed it, please like, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Antonio Conte gets awkward Diego Costa reminder during Chelsea presentation. Antonio Conte was given a reminder of his tumultuous relationship with Diego Costa this weekend amid speculation the forward is set to move on from Chelsea in the summer transfer window. Costa revealed last week that Conte informed him that he could leave the club in the coming months, with Atletico Madrid and Chinese Super League teams understood to be keen on landing the 28-year-old. It's believed the Blues boss sent Costa a text message which read, "Good luck for the next year, but you are not in my plan." This weekend, Chelsea asked the fans to send messages to Conte for a book of memories off the back of the side's title-winning campaign, and the Italian was clearly delighted with his gift. However, the manager rather awkwardly opened the book on a page decorated with a gigantic picture of Costa celebrating one of his many goals. The Spaniard managed 21 goals in all competitions for the Premier League champions last term, but was criticised for his form in the latter of the season. Costa admitted last week, "The other day Conte sent me a message saying I'm not in his plans for Chelsea, so we'll have to find a way out."
Didn't really want to be uploading a video at this sort of time of the day, but nonetheless I'm going to. We have heard some breaking news, and it appears as if Diego Costa is unsettled by a £30 million a year offer from a Chinese Super League club. Now, will we sell him, will we not, who knows? Now, what we do know, or what according to Sky sources this is, he has been dropped by Chelsea after a row with the fitness coach at the club. Look, the problem is, and I always find it's difficult, people always say, oh, money tempts football players, but you've got to put it into perspective. If you were offered double, triple what you're earning right now, you'd be stupid not to accept it. I mean, you would be. I don't blame Costa for accepting this. I do blame the way he's gone about it, you know, if this is all true. You know, what upsets me the most is probably the fact that, you know, in that Peterborough game, we saw Conte and Costa laughing. You know, and apparently that means nothing. I mean, it is so frustrating. It is. Look, I mean, if he does leave, it will be a terrible, terrible day for the football club. But at the same time, if he doesn't want to play for us, he don't want to play for us. No man is bigger than the club. You know, it will be a big loss. It will be a loss in which I don't know whether we will be able to instantly replace. If he goes this window, we're in fuck street. If he doesn't, we're not going to have a Costa who wants to play for the club. So we are in shit streak here. I pray to God this is completely and utterly fake news, but I'm not sure if it is. You know, I've heard apparently, you know, Conte reportedly shouted "Go to China" at Costa across the training ground. We know Conte's a fiery person. We know Costa's a fiery person. So honestly, it's come out of left field. It's proved why football and Chelsea Football Club is just unpredictable. You never know what to expect. God knows how much we'd get for him. if he did in fact go. 30 minutes. Oh, this is what China's going to do to football, and other clubs can laugh at us and the situation that's going on. But at the end of the day, it's going to happen to your players. It's going to happen to your top players, and it's going to happen to your club, and you aren't going to be laughing then. It's as simple as that. It is going to happen. Just another thing come out now. A few other lines to bring you regarding Diego Costa's situation at Chelsea, with Sky sources telling us that the striker had a row with the two fitness coaches as well as Antonio Conte. His agent, Giorgio Mendes, we know that guy. You know, he is a cunt of an agent, is thought to currently be in China. I literally am speechless. I don't know what to say. You know, Costa's one of my favourite players. If he does leave, look, you know, the goals he scored. I mean, to be fair, I can't defend the guy. If he wants to leave the football club, and the way he's gone about this is completely and utterly unacceptable. And there can be real no excuses for this situation. If he did want to leave, I think the truth be told, he wanted to go back to Atletico in the summer. If we're being honest, I think what would have been smart from Costa, if he did want to move to China, would have been to stay with us to the end of the season and to push the move in the summer. That would have been the smart move. But quite clearly it's Diego Costa, and he doesn't do things in the normal way, as he's proved here. So this is really not what we need off the back of our last Premier League result being against Tottenham and being 2-0. And the thing that pisses me off is Costa, I understand the money's there, and that has probably tempted him. I get that. But the smart thing would have been see out this season and then go in the summer. Why? You got the top scorer of the Premier League. He could quite easily win that. PFA Player of the Year, quite easily win that. Chelsea's Player of the Season. You know, he's got everything. The Premier League, it's just simple for him. I mean, are China ruining football? Some would argue yes, some would argue no. I mean, if we thought money had gone mad in the game of football a couple of years ago, it has gone insane. Now, China are completely and utterly, completely taken what we thought was insane and taken it to another level. I mean, I don't honestly know what the hell we're going to do if Diego Costa decides to leave this January. Who the hell are we going to bring in? Michy Batshuayi, we haven't even been playing when Costa's been out. We have no replacement for Costa. Yes, we can foresee this happening, but are we really going to be confident having Batshuayi up front for the rest of the season to take us to the Premier League title? I mean, this has thrown the Premier League right open. I thought we were clear favourites, but this has thrown it right open, because not only is what Diego Costa's done and what's happened at the football club going to affect Diego and the team in regards to the fact that we're now missing our main striker, it's also going to affect the team morale. And if there's an awkward atmosphere and there's an uncomfortable atmosphere at the club, if China comes in with a massive money offer for another big player, look, Eden Hazard, Thibaut Courtois, who's to say they're not going to leave? Who's to say they're not going to leave the football club? It's like, this is like April Fool's. It's just like a complete and utter joke. It's literally come out of nowhere. It is one of the most remarkable stories I have ever heard in my life. He is Diego Costa at the moment is playing the best I've ever seen him play. In my opinion, he's the best player in the Premier League, and he is one of the best strikers in the world right now. Now, reports saying Abramovich doesn't want to sell him. Great. But at the end of the day, if the guy doesn't want to play for the football club, and it's not, and look, he hasn't said he doesn't want to play for the football club. All right, we're going to make sure we remember that. He's had a row with a fitness coach and Conte, but he hasn't said he doesn't want to play for the football club. So Conte has dropped him. That's what's happened here. Conte's dropped him. Costa hasn't said, I want to play for the football club. I don't even know if he said he wants to leave. He's just unsettled by this. So we have to get the facts straight. We have to think about this logically. Is it possible that we can get through January, we can keep Diego Costa and we can bring him back into the team? Possibly. But this is Diego Costa we're talking about. This is not just any old player. This is Diego Costa. Payet's doing a similar thing at West Ham. You know, at West Ham. And again, is it showing that the players now have more power than anyone? I mean, Payet's not going to China, but he's refusing to play. I mean, Costa doesn't refuse to play yet. I think Costa would be a stupid boy moving to China. I really do, because the quality of football there is terrible. Now, the money, okay, but I'm gonna refute my point that I made earlier, where I said, you know, if someone offered you a threefold increase on your wage, you probably wouldn't reject it. But I'd also say this is football. They're earning a ridiculous amount of money anyway, and a lot of it surely should be about the quality of football you're playing and where you're playing it. You know, Costa's currently playing in the best league. He's playing with one of the best teams in the league. We're top of the table. You can't argue with that. You know, and he's going to move to China, full of players. You know, a couple of great players and a couple, you know, and most that you've never heard of. He'll probably score a hatful of goals. Yes, he'll earn a load of money. The quality in the league will be pretty shit. There's no Champions League. There's no massive. I don't know what the play Chinese Super League. Big deal. It's not the greatest day for a Chelsea fan. We'll have to admit that. But at the end of the day, what we've got to hope for, and again, I want to emphasise this point: no player is bigger than the club. No manager is bigger than the club. No player is ever bigger than the club. And tomorrow we have to beat Leicester. Without Diego Costa, we have to send a point. We have to prove a point. The players have to prove a point that they're with the club, they're with the fans, and that they don't, you know, accept Diego Costa's attitude. And what Diego Costa has done is in no way reflectant of them and the mood in camp. That's what they have to do tomorrow. They have to prove a point. Now, you know, it could work two ways. They could be fired up from this and they will want to go out and prove a point, or the morale could be so heavily hit that we end up losing against Leicester and we are then in serious trouble of not just not winning the Premier League, but then I would say not finishing in top four. Now this might sound drastic. What we've got to understand is we are losing one of our best players, well, our best player this season. Now if you take the best player out of any team, okay, that is going to be absolutely huge, the detrimental effect that that's going to have on that team. So this is a big deal. You know, there's no beating around the bush. If Diego Costa, you know, hell, if he stays this January but he doesn't play for us for the rest of the season, this is a big deal. If Diego Costa plays anyway, this could still be a big deal because more than likely his head's not going to be there. And when Diego Costa loses his head, oh good God. God help us. So yeah, my thoughts on the news is just, it's shocking, it's unbelievable, it's actually hard to actually grasp. Look, this could, I pray to God, right? If there's a God up there, I pray that this is all fake news and this is the media trying to damage the football club like they always do because they hate Chelsea. It's always been the thing. But something tells me it's not. Although a lot of it just seems too comical to be true. Conte shouting across the training ground, go to China. I mean, it's something Trump would say. I mean, I really, really hope this isn't true. But I think it probably is. Let's be honest. I think this probably is. And I think this is what we're going to expect now. You know, who are we going to bring in? I mean, I haven't even thought of that. Lukaku? Bring Lukaku back. I don't even know. I don't even know. This is a huge deal. I don't care what any Chelsea fan tries to say. Yeah, I don't actually know what any Chelsea fan who honestly can say, you know, this is not a big deal, because this is a big deal. I'm not panicking, but it's a big deal. You know, yes, we'll get over it, but this is. I emphasize this point, and I'm going to end the video with this. China will continue to do this with football. The best players, your best player, Sanchez, he'll go China. Players, top players, the top teams are going to move to China. It is what's going to happen. This is just the first of the big boys in the Premier League that's going to move to China. And it will continue to happen. Diego Costa is unsettled at Chelsea because of an offer from China. And he's been dropped from the squad. What a Friday evening. Jesus Christ. Thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And I'll be back very, very soon. Fuck! So I wanted to bring you some breaking news regarding an approach that Chelsea have made for Adama Traore from Middlesbrough. And I just want to give you my thoughts on that approach, whether I think it will happen, a Chelsea fan's perspective, what I think of it. And I also just want to tell you news just before we get into the Adama Traore speculation. But breaking news, according to Sky sources, Diego Costa has rejoined the Chelsea first team in training after spending the last few days training away from the group. So it looks as if it's all been forgiven and forgotten, and Costa is back into the Chelsea side. I said, you know, as soon as about Saturday, well, the news broke Friday, didn't it? And then Saturday morning, I was confident Costa would stay this January, and I haven't changed my mind. I think he'll stay this January, and I think if he still wants to move away, then it will happen in the summer. Simple as that. But let's talk about this Traore thing. Middlesbrough winger Adama Traore, we've made an approach for him. Now, the guy's quick. For me, from what I've seen from him this season, he lacks an end product. He is quick, and I think that's the big thing here. Now, looking at our system, where would we play him? I assume we'd be looking at playing him or having him as a backup to Moses on either the right hand side or even, I suppose, on the left hand side as a left wing back, right wing back, and trying to develop Traore into a kind of Victor Moses. Because he is quite an attacking player. I mean, I don't understand how he'd even compete with the likes of Willian, Pedro and Eden Hazard for the wing positions. I suppose he'd give cover. I suppose you could argue he's a versatile player in that regard, because you could play him left wing, right wing, or you could play him left wing back or right wing back. But for me personally, not only has this come out of left field, but it is slightly bizarre. Now, the guy he started his career at Barcelona, for crying out loud. So, you know, he is a decent player. You know, he's got decent pedigree, but he is not the finished article, and it would be something that we'd have to develop, and simply bizarre, if I'm being honest. I don't understand why we want him when we could. I don't know how much he'd be. He's a youngster, so you have to expect him to cost a little bit more than many would expect. I think it's a bizarre one, if I'm honest. I think it's a bizarre one. I mean, I don't know whether this has been linked anywhere else, but I haven't seen anything from this. So it has come out of left field. It has shocked me a little bit. And I'm just thinking to myself, surely there's better options. Look, I wouldn't hate it if the deal came across, right? I wouldn't hate it if we did sign Adama Traore. I would just question why the hell we're interested in Adama Traore and not somebody who is proven and who is, you know, probably would be able to get for the same price. You know, if we go abroad, we could get him for the same price. I mean, he hasn't yet proven himself in the Premier League, Adama Traore. He played 14 times for Middlesbrough this season, but he hasn't really, he hasn't really proven himself too much. I mean, if there's any Middlesbrough fans, what do you think of this news? What do you think of Adama Traore? He was signed just this summer, actually, so it would be bizarre in some respects. But for me, this is just a bit of a bizarre one. And another thing I was just thinking is we've got Charlie Masunda, who there's talk about possibly him going out and moving to Roma, I think it is, on loan. But I would question, if we're going to bring in Adama Traore, why the hell would we not use Charlie Masunda instead? If we're thinking about Adama Traore, right, well, obviously Conte feels we're short in the position of winger stroke wing back. I would have thought winger. Then why not use Charlie Masunda, who, you know, who's got that pedigree to a certain extent? I know his loan move failed, but he is a top player. Now look, you could look at this two ways. Him training with Hazard, him training with Pedro, him training with Costa and Willian, Fabric, you know, top players. He could develop into something very, very good. He's very good with his feet. He's very good on the ball. As I say, he lacks that end product, but that can be developed. And maybe he is another Victor Moses. Maybe. I just think it's a gamble that, is it worth taking when there's probably better options about? So that's my brief thoughts on Chelsea's approach for Middlesbrough's winger Adama Traore. Do I think this deal will come across? I think it's 50-50 at the moment. Sky Source is a very reliable source usually. We've obviously approached them, so we're obviously interested. I can't expect Middlesbrough will, you know, want millions and millions for him. I think we'll overpay. But I don't know. What do you think? Will this deal go through the line? Do you think it's a good deal? What do you think of it? Leave it down in the comment section below. If you missed my transfer speculation video that I uploaded about 19 minutes ago, make sure you go check that out. That video is up. I spoke about Payet, Costa, Morata, Griezmann, possible Morata move to Chelsea. I did speak about that in that video. And as soon as I went to upload the video, a load of stuff happened. Tom Carroll signed, Costa was back in training, and this deal broke. So I thought I'd do a follow-up. I thought I'd do a video talking about that. So, yeah, that is what I have done. So, Morata? What the fuck? Adama Traore has been approached by Chelsea. This transfer window just keeps getting more and more bizarre by the day. When will it stop? Goodness gracious me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.